For thousands of years, dogs were scavengers, eating whatever they could find to survive. They were working animals, guarding livestock or helping with the hunt. They were companions to the lonely, but not in the way we think of today. They slept by the fire, but they weren't curled up on a dog bed. They were there because they didn't have a choice. Their loyalty was a necessity for survival, not something we spoiled them with treats for. It wasn't until the mid-19th century that things started to change, at least for some. It started with a guy named James Spratt. He was a businessman in London who noticed that dogs around the docks were surviving by eating discarded ship biscuits. Now, these biscuits weren't made for dogs, but the dogs were still surviving on them. So Spratt thought, hey, maybe I can make a biscuit that dogs will eat and it'll be good for them. So in 1860, he created the world's first commercial dog food. He called it Spratt's Meat Fibrini Dog Cake. It was a baked biscuit made of wheat meal, vegetables, beetroot, and dried beef blood. Yeah, it doesn't sound amazing, but for the time it was revolutionary, and the timing couldn't have been better. In the 1800s, pet ownership began to shift. Dogs were no longer just working animals. They were becoming companions. And as cities grew and families moved into smaller homes, the convenience of packaged food became really important. And so this dog biscuit took off. It spread quickly across England and then to the United States. And by the 1920s, the dog food industry was booming. But things really took off in the 1950s when dry kibble hit the scene. It was convenient, easy to store, and mass produce. And companies like Purina and Hills dominated the market. Purina even launched the first dog food made through extrusion. This process cooked and shaped the kibble into those little crunchy bites that you and I know today. And these companies didn't just market dog food, they marketed science. They promised that their food would make your dog healthier and more vital, and even help them live longer. They created veterinary-formulated diets for dogs with special needs. And for the first time, brands claimed to treat everything from kidney disease to allergies. Pet food had officially entered the medical space. But the boom in the pet food industry had one major side effect. As more and more brands flooded the market, some corners started cutting to increase profits. Low-quality stuff hit the shelves. Fillers, artificial preservatives, and questionable meat byproducts became common. Critics started sounding the alarm about lax regulation, and studies began linking poor nutrition to serious health problems in dogs. So in the 20th century,